Second Crypto Revolution. Build generational wealth with Richard Hart's crypto ecosystem. Chapter 9. Security. How not to lose all your money. The chapter begins with a photograph of a man sitting on a sidewalk with a white sign in front of him that reads, "Mt. Gox, where is our money?" There's also a statement by Kevin Mitnick, American computer security consultant, author, and convicted hacker, that reads, "I was breaking people, not passwords." I wrote about the problems, fraud, hacking, and corruption in the crypto business in Chapter 3. This represents just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the dangers that await cryptocurrency investors. In my more than 5 years of crypto investing, I've never lost funds due to any of the typical risks in the crypto business. In this chapter, I will explain what you can do to avoid losing all of your money. Centralized exchanges. When investing in cryptocurrencies, you will not protect yourself from using centralized exchanges. So think of them as a necessary evil. The less you have to deal with them, the better. The shorter your funds are in their possession, the safer. Crypto exchanges are targeted by hackers all the time, and even the major players in the business, such as Binance, Bitfinex, and Coinbase, are not spared. Despite the fact that sometimes funds can be recovered or the exchange takes responsibility for the lost money, it is not guaranteed, and the recovery process can take ages. The customers of the Mt. Gox exchange hacked in 2011 are still promised today that they will be able to recover at least some of their lost bitcoins. Very often, when there are high price fluctuations in the crypto market due to investor panic or euphoria, for instance, there are problems logging onto the exchange or withdrawing funds, which can take up to several days. Any attempts to contact customer service during such hectic times are generally futile effort. There are cases where exchanges block customers' funds for reasons that are not always clear, and it can cost a lot of time and require strong nerves to unblock them. Kraken Exchange kept blocking several $1,000s of a friend of mine for over 6 months. During this time, he often tried unsuccessfully to work with customer service to prove that he was not a drug smuggler or did not launder dirty money. One day I transferred cryptocurrency worth about €2,000 to the Binance exchange for the second time in my life, with the plan to withdraw this amount to my bank account. After making the crypto transfer, it turned out that I was blocked from withdrawing funds to my bank. Customer service told me that transfers to or from the bank were blocked because my previous transactions were suspicious. However, due to Binance's company policy, I could not be told what was suspicious and how I could prove that I never did anything wrong. This will forever be a company secret. The problem could be solved indirectly by transferring cryptocurrency from Binance to another exchange, from which I managed to get the funds out to the bank. Revolut Bank, where I have an account into which I was withdrawing funds from the Bitstamp exchange at one point, also asked me to prove that I was not a criminal. It eventually accepted my documents but threatened to close my account if I continued to deposit funds into it from the Bitstamp exchange. Perhaps the reason for the whole situation was not suspicion of criminality, but the fact that Revolut also has its own crypto trading platform, so Bitstamp is a competitor. The exchanges I use, such as the current Bitstamp, BitCub, and Zonda, formerly BitBay, regularly freeze my accounts, requesting re-verification of identity and tax residency information. Fortunately, so far this happens when I don't happen to have funds or transfers pending with them. However, taking into account the fact that I never know when the next verification awaits me, I always try to keep my funds, which are held by the exchange even for a short period, in small amounts. I prefer to make several or even over a dozen small transfers in a row rather than a single large transfer that will be blocked for an unknown period of time. Centralized exchanges often offer a whole array of other services, such as crypto wallets to hold funds, staking platforms, or savings accounts, and much more. Taking into account all I described above, I have never used these types of services. I do not intend to do so, and I recommend you stay away from them too. By using exchanges and the products they offer, the exchange, not you, is in possession of your private key, which is the equivalent of your bank account PIN. Stick to the principle of not your keys, not your crypto. If I have not convinced you yet, make sure you carefully read the terms and conditions of the exchange you are using. Many, if not all, of them have, among other things, a statement there that they reserve the right to retain your funds forever, without giving reason thereof, or to use them for various purposes in the event of bankruptcy or other problems with their platform. Not your keys, not your crypto. As you begin your adventure with cryptocurrencies, you will encounter the concept of public keys and private keys. Understanding the difference between them and how to use them is incredibly important for the security of your investments. The public key is used to send cryptocurrency to the wallet. The private key is used to verify the transaction and confirm ownership of the blockchain address. If someone sends you, let's say, 1,000 hex, the private key will be required to unlock that transaction and prove that you now own 1,000 hex. Think of your public key as your bank account number. You can share it with whomever you wish, who can then send money there. However, knowing your bank account number does not allow anyone to withdraw money or otherwise log into your account. An example of a public key format is, an example here is a very long string of alphanumeric characters beginning with 0 X-ray 952 and ending with 3 Charlie Delta Charlie. The private key is the most important password for your crypto wallet. It acts like the PIN to your bank account or the password to your email address. Only you should have access to it and keep it secret. You need to understand that if someone knows your private key, he or she will have access to all the cryptocurrencies in that wallet. They can do whatever he or she wants with it. The function of the private key, technically speaking, is to sign transactions that use your funds. Transactions using your funds cannot be verified by the network without the private key attached. The public key encrypts transactions that can only be decrypted with the corresponding private key. Private keys are numerical codes that look like this one below. And here we have an example of an even longer string, beginning with Echo Alpha 1 Foxtrot and potentially dozens of alphanumeric characters before the string ends. In order to make things more user-friendly, many wallet providers often encode the private key in a way that can be more easily saved and remembered. Many wallets use an initial phrase, also known as a secret recovery phrase, to unlock the wallet. If you open a MetaMask crypto wallet, you're given a string of random words that you use to unlock your funds. Your private key is hidden in the software behind this user-friendly string of words. You must securely store and never share this particular string of words with anyone. If you hold your crypto in an exchange wallet, such as Coinbase or Binance, for instance, or with a custodian, this company holds your private key for you. Strictly speaking, it controls your funds on your behalf and can do whatever it wants with it at any time. Hence the origin of the saying, not your keys, not your crypto. Remember it once and for all, and take it to heart. You must keep your private key safe and secret. Write it down. Keep it in several places because, unlike bank PINs, there is no way of recovering it. If you lose your private key or it falls into the wrong hands, you can forget about the money in there. The level of security for your private key depends on the size of your investments and, over time, probably progressing paranoia. It's a good idea to divide your private key regardless of how it is stored into two parts and keep them at different places. If someone finds one part, he or she is less likely to find the other. A sealed envelope among your other documents, steel plates such as Crypto Tag Zeus or the Billfodl, Billfodl, to avoid destruction of your private key in the event of a flood or fire, kept in a safe deposit or bank box are also not bad ideas. And if you think that keeping a steel plate with your private key in a safe box is too obvious, you could always sink it into the bottom of the tomato soup you keep in the freezer. Do not take screenshots or photos with your phone, and do not save your private key in any file, as these digital copies are often the target of hackers. Scammers and hackers. Scammers of all kinds will constantly try to get their hands on your private keys. You will receive emails and messages on all sorts of instant messengers telling you that you need to verify your wallet, your stock market account, or that your funds are at risk and you now need to go to a certain website and enter your private key. My email was on a list of addresses that leaked to the web from Ledger Company, one of the manufacturers of crypto wallets. Since I'm a customer of Ledger, it's obvious that I own a certain amount of crypto. Since then, I have regularly received emails from various suspicious people and organizations. One of them informed me that my wallet on the Binance exchange was blocked and it required KYC, Know Your Customer, re-verification. I didn't have a wallet on Binance. I haven't used the exchange's services for a long time either. However, the email looked very realistic and it scared me of the consequences. I do not know where the Verify Now button at the bottom of that email led to because I never clicked it. I assume that the scam system will ask for my Binance exchange login and password, private keys, or install suspicious software on my computer. Ask a question about MetaMask on Twitter, for instance, and the scammer bots will immediately generate comments with links to pages that will help you as long as you enter your private key there. Ask for help with anything on the official Hex.com channel on Telegram, and you will quickly find that one of the tens of thousands of participants on that channel is a scammer who will send you a private message claiming to be an official Hex customer service agent. For this reason, Richard Hart and many other influencers in the crypto business entered in their descriptions the information that they would never send you a private message first. Examples are abundant. They could be listed endlessly, but I think it should be clear at this stage that dangers lurk behind every corner and you should not trust anyone. Your crypto wallet. Hopefully at this stage you are already convinced that all exchanges and other intermediaries are a necessary evil and that you need to equip yourself with your own crypto wallet. One of the simplest, best, and safest solutions is the wallet offered by MetaMask.io. In Chapter 8, I've described in detail how you can set up your own wallet. Remember, go directly to the website I specified rather than typing the words MetaMask into Google, because the list of results you're going to get can take you to a fake MetaMask website with a fake wallet. When setting up a wallet at www.metamask.io, that's metamask.io, remember to save, securely store, and not share your private keys with anyone. The MetaMask wallet is completely sufficient for you if your planned investment or funds held there does not exceed $1,000. If you plan to hold more than $10,000 of crypto, you should purchase the so-called hardware wallet. Remember, even a small investment of $1,000 can easily grow to $10,000. The most popular, but not the only hardware wallets, are offered by Ledger.com and Trezor.io. That's LEDGER.com and TREZOR.io. The main difference between software-based wallets such as MetaMask and hardware-based wallets such as Ledger or Trezor is that in the latter case, you will need a physical device to verify each transaction. It is therefore impossible to hack your wallet via the web without physical access to your Ledger or Trezor And here we have a photograph of a Ledger wallet, which is about the size of a standard thumb drive or jump drive that you use with your computer storage. Order one of these, and when you receive it, follow the instructions to perform your setup, which is very straightforward. As with MetaMask, both Ledger and Trezor will generate new private keys for you. Proceed with them in exactly the same manner as I described in the previous section. When ordering one of these wallets, make sure you buy them directly from the manufacturers at ledger.com or trezor.io. Any other physical or online shop like Amazon is a risk that your private key has already been generated and copied by an unauthorized person. If your crypto investment exceeds $1 million, then consider a multi-sig setup with gnosis-safe.io. That's GNOSIS-safe, SAFE.io. In general, multi-sig requires multiple wallets to be signed before a transaction can take place. This is a little more complicated than using a hardware wallet, but well worth the effort for larger cryptocurrency investments. This is especially true for long-term deposits, such as staking Hex for 5,555 days. As an alternative to Gnosis Safe, you could spread your cryptocurrencies across several wallets like Ledger or Trezor. Laptops and smartphones. When I introduce someone to the world of crypto and mention MetaMask for the first time, often the person will reach for his or her phone to download a wallet into it. As a general rule, I advise against using wallets or performing any crypto transactions on a smartphone because it's less secure than using a laptop or desktop computer. Smartphones are easier to hack, steal, and lose. Personally, I don't have a single wallet on my phone, and I don't carry out any transactions via my mobile. This rule also applies to the use of exchanges, and I highly recommend following it. When using a computer, you should also follow a few basic security rules. Whether you are using an operating system, Microsoft Windows or Mac OS, you should use antivirus software, a firewall, and a VPN as a bare minimum. The next step for increasing your security should be to have a separate personal computer dedicated solely to working with cryptocurrencies. Such a computer should be equipped with the minimum and necessary software to function, as well as a web browser, antivirus, firewall, VPN. This computer should only be connected to the web when you intend to perform any transaction, and disconnected once it has been finalized. If the aforementioned requirements sound to you like too much of an expense or a process requiring too much hassle, ask yourself if you are really right when you may own or soon will own crypto worth tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not even millions. Lack of customer service. Despite numerous avoidable risks lurking behind every corner, it is often the case that you are your own worst enemy. The nature of the blockchain technology on which the cryptocurrency system is based means that all transactions are irreversible. If, when sending money between banks, you make a mistake in the recipient's account number, that cash will most likely come back to you with or without the intervention of the bank's customer service department. When using cryptocurrencies, there are no intermediaries or customer service to help you if, for instance, you misspell the recipient's wallet address. If you accidentally send money to me and not to your brother, and we're friends, there's no problem. I'll send the money back to you after receiving a message from you about it. However, if you send crypto to an address whose owner you do not know because you accidentally typed F instead of E, you will never get it back because you won't know where your money is now and who you should even contact. Wallets, exchanges, and other cryptocurrency service providers have already done a lot to eliminate as many of these potential situations as possible anyway. Complicated wallet addresses can be copied to the clipboard with a single click, ensuring that no one in their right mind would type them in manually. This option makes it impossible to copy an address with a missing number or letter at its beginning or end. If you use this option, you should still check carefully whether the address you copied is really the one you want to send money to. Fraudsters long time ago have developed software that can install itself on your computer without your knowledge and replace the pasted address directly onto the clipboard. If you have copied an address from the exchange and are sending funds from your wallet, and if you don't check that the address pasted in your wallet is exactly the same as the one you have just copied from the exchange, you could end up sending funds directly to the fraudster. When operating in the cryptocurrency market, you need to understand that all responsibility is in your hands. And if you make such fundamental mistakes, you only have yourself to blame, and no one will be able to help you. However, this is a small price to pay for an opportunity to turn relatively small amounts of money into millions. Safety in the real world. Wesley Pisano, a 19-year-old crypto investor, bragged about his wealth and inspiring lifestyle on Instagram to his 133,000 followers and on YouTube to his 15,600 subscribers. In one photo, he stands leaning against his red Porsche, holding a thick bundle of banknotes. In August of 2021, he was driving to his barbershop in the Brazilian city of São Pedro da Aldeia when unknown perpetrators opened fire on him in broad daylight in front of multiple witnesses. Wesley died on the spot, and his passenger was injured. The shocking killing was the work of gangs, increasingly targeting bragging crypto traders and influencers after they flaunted their wealth on social media. And here we have a picture of Wesley Pisano leaning on that very same car we just described. Kieran Hamilton, another crypto investor who is 21 years old and highly popular on social media, was attacked by two masked robbers who broke into his home in Greater Manchester, Great Britain, and demanded valuables. He was stabbed in the arm before the robbers fled with his dog, worth approximately £1,000, an Apple MacBook laptop, gold bracelets, and a gold wedding ring. Mr. Hamilton's baby daughter was at home screaming in her cot when the robbers attacked at 6 in the morning on the 5th of January 2018. Tajir H., a 39-year-old crypto trader, was robbed and tortured at his home in Dralvenderveen, the Netherlands, in 2019. The perpetrators, disguised as police from a special SWAT team, tied him up, hanged him, waterboarded him, beat him, and drilled 7 holes in his leg with an impact drill. The above examples are just an illustration of what can happen when you become financially successful in the crypto business and you don't also take care of your security in the real world. Richard Hart moved out of the United States 15 years ago and almost never returns there because he believes the country is far more dangerous for supposed multi-billionaires like him. Richard lives somewhere in Europe, although no one apart from his family and closest friends knows where. When meeting fans of its products in various European cities, he announces the exact time and location of the meeting several hours before it was actually held, so as not to give potential villains too much time to prepare a potential attack. Many cryptocurrency investors do not use social media at all, or hardly at all. Others use pseudonyms, or do not publish photos or videos of themselves at all. Still others do not publish anything to do with crypto, money, or the luxurious lifestyle that they lead. There are many methods to avoid becoming a target, from remaining as anonymous as possible, through learning martial arts and owning weapons, to hiring private security guards and buying guard dogs. Much depends on the country you live in and the laws, lifestyle, and individual preferences there. One thing is for sure though, the examples given above of what can happen if you don't exercise caution after being successful with cryptocurrencies should make you treat your safety seriously. And now let's review our summary. When investing in cryptocurrencies, you will not avoid using centralized exchanges, so think of them as a necessary evil. The less you have to deal with them, the better. Not your keys, not your crypto. The public key is used to send cryptocurrency to the wallet. The private key is used to verify transactions and confirm ownership of the blockchain address. The private key is the most important password for your crypto wallet. It acts like the PIN to your bank account or the password to your email address. Only you should have access to it and keep it secret. It's a good idea to divide your private key, regardless of how it is stored, into two parts and keep them at different places. If someone finds one part, they are less likely to find the other. Do not take screenshots or photos with your phone, and do not save your private key in any file, because these digital copies are often the target of hackers. Scammers of all kinds will constantly try to get their hands on your private keys. You will receive emails and messages on all sorts of instant messengers telling you that you need to verify your wallet, your exchange account, or that your funds are at risk, and you now need to go to a certain website and enter your private key. One of the most straightforward, best, and safest solutions is the wallet offered by MetaMask.io. If you plan to deposit more than $10,000 of cryptocurrency, you should purchase the so-called hardware wallet. The most popular, but not the only hardware wallets, are offered by Ledger.com and Trezor.io. If your crypto investment exceeds $1 million, then consider a multi-sig setup with Gnosis-Safe.io. Essentially, multi-sig requires multiple wallets to be signed before a transaction can take place. Generally speaking, I would advise against using wallets or performing any crypto transactions on a smartphone because it is less secure than using a laptop or desktop computer. When using a personal computer, you should also follow a few basic security rules. Whether you're using Microsoft Windows or Mac OS operating system, you should use antivirus software, a firewall, and a VPN as a bare minimum. The next step to enhance your security should be to have a separate computer dedicated solely to working with cryptocurrencies. Despite numerous avoidable risks lurking behind every corner, it is often the case that you are your own worst enemy. The nature of the blockchain technology on which the cryptocurrency system is based means that all transactions are irreversible. When sending cryptocurrencies, there are no intermediaries, customer service, to help you if, for instance, you misspell the recipient's wallet address. Take safety precautions in the real world. Many cryptocurrency investors do not use social media at all, or hardly at all. Others use pseudonyms or do not publish photos or videos of themselves at all. Still others do not publish anything to do with crypto, money, or the luxurious life they lead. There are numerous methods to avoid becoming a target of attackers, from remaining as anonymous as possible, learning martial art, and owning weapons, to hiring private security guards and buying guard dogs.